All right, thank you, Kevin. Scott, we're going to move on to the specific questions. Each of these you will have 1 minute for, and we're going to start with Paula Page. The question is, what would you do as governor to align higher education with workforce needs?
Well, there's two basic things you have to do. The very first thing is we need to have a report card on the colleges and the universities. We need to find out how much does education cost. How many students are completing the education, degree programs? How many graduates become employed within the first 12 months of their degrees? And most importantly, how much are they earning? Then we have to go to the business community and ask them, are we providing you with the skills that you're looking for to do the jobs that you provide your employees? We need to do an inventory there and find out what training programs they're offering and align them with the education system that our students are getting from K through 12 and beyond. The one thing that I see in my 40 years in Maine, and I saw a graph earlier today about most critical, least critical. One thing I see missing is the western part of our state is 90% forest. I don't see a whole lot of forestry activity in our community college and university. Northern Maine, very strong.
If you could wrap it up, a minute's gone past.
I'm sorry. That's fine.
I know, it goes fast. We're going to go on to you, Libby Mitchell. What would you do as governor to align higher education with workforce needs?
I would build on the already existing relationships with community colleges and business councils, as well as the university. I have proposed bringing into the governor's office an office of job creation, strategic initiatives, because we need to focus on the real opportunities out there with composites and biotechnology, natural resources. And as we do that, I want a council of educators and business people advising me on a regular basis on how I can lead as governor, making sure that we're getting the job done. Much is being done, which is good, as the leaders of these institutions have reached out to the business community. I know Sean has mentioned the governor's training council. People are being trained for real jobs that are coming to the state. That's an important program to keep in place. As the workforce needs change, and you talked about blue collar, that we need training also in the basics. 4,000 people are waiting, getting into community colleges with jobs that are waiting for them. And they do range from plumbing and heating to technology. We need to open those doors.
All right, thank you, Libby Mitchell. Sean Moody, what would you do as governor to align higher education with workforce needs?
Well, I think there is some great things being done. We went to the Maine Development Foundation. Was it on Friday? That was uplifting. You know, you hear a lot about what we're not doing right in the state of Maine. There's a lot of great things happening in the Maine Development Foundation. So I think it really starts with taking an inventory of what the workplace needs are and taking what's available right now in the college curriculums throughout the state and just lining those up to see how many jobs are going to be available. And it's speculative, but get the business community to open up. How many jobs are going to be available in your certain sector? And how many students? You know, you see it in nursing. You know, we've got a shortage of nursing students, you know, to be able to get through the USM's nursing program because they just can't meet the demand right now. So it's imperative that we know what we're going to have to meet for job force requirements and needs so the educational community can hit those jobs and keep our young people in Maine. That is really, in the end, what we need.
All right, thank you, Sean. And Kevin, Scott, what would you do as governor to align higher education with workforce needs?
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lose the suit and tie, and I'm going to go out and speak with employers that are working every day here in Maine. You know, earlier in January, I received a telephone call. I'll rephrase that. I made a telephone call to Bath Iron Works, General Dynamics, and through that effort, through a request for proposal, I was awarded an opportunity to supply them with folks that had CATIA design skills. And CATIA is a three-dimensional software. I spoke of that earlier. It's Dassault Systems, a French aerospace company. And that's a critical piece of industry here in Maine. There isn't a school in Maine that I am aware of that teaches CATIA. We have some AutoCAD and some SolidWorks and those things. So we need to move towards, you know, aligning the needs we have now. Some of your folks here today, machine centers, tooling manufacturers. I think Midstate Machine was here with CNCs. Are they using phonic controllers or GE controllers? What type of programmable logic controller do they have, and what kind of analog skill sets do they need their electrical engineers to understand? So we need to align the needs with what we have here now and use that as a model going forward with how we're going to do for other industries in Maine.
Okay, thank you. Kevin Scott and Eliot Cutler, what would you do as governor to align higher education with workforce needs?
There's a lot we need to do. Let's start with the fact that that the skilled workforce in the state of Maine is treading its way out of existence. The average age of the skilled worker at Bath Iron Works today is 56. We need to fill that hole of vocational training and education skills training that we've allowed to develop between the high schools and the community colleges. Secondly, I think we need to merge our two systems of higher education. We're organized to fail right now. We have 7 campuses in each system, a separate CEO, a separate board of trustees, both reporting to the governor. We need to change that. We need to get the systems out of straitjackets. Right now, we're blocked by statutes from doing what we ought to do in terms of funding the systems and eliminating duplication. And finally, we need to better prepare high school graduates for our colleges. Too many of our high school seniors are unprepared. Paul, Waterville is a good example of a place where the dropout rate is twice the state average. The high school graduation rate is 10% lower than the state average. The kids are performing 6 to 24% below the statewide average. I want to see equity throughout the state. I want every kid in every high school ready to go to college, no matter whether they're in Waterville, Presque Isle, or Kittery.